All right, what's up, everybody? So today, now that I've officially finished undergrad, I'm going to do a video on my undergraduate application process. And, some students gave me the idea for this, and I think this is a really good idea because, this happened 4 years ago for me. So reflecting back, I can talk about, where I got in, where I didn't get in, and kind of the takeaways from this entire process. And so with that, let's go straight into it. So you'll see some images here: Berkeley, Santa Clara, UCSD, Cal Poly, Harvey Mudd, Rice. These are just some of the schools that I applied to. I'm going to make the difference between these schools. I'm going to talk about my public schools I applied to, private schools I applied to. I'm going to talk about whether I got in or not. I'm going to talk about, 4 years down the road, like what are my takeaways from college. So with that, let's get straight into it. I'll be writing in blue to differentiate everything that's already pre-written. So the first private schools I applied to are all listed here, and I'm going to say that I applied to 9 total private schools. So out of my total number of schools, which I'm going to talk about, I applied to 9 private schools. And now I'm going to tell you whether I got admitted or rejected, just with an A or an R in the right column. So Santa Clara, I was admitted. Santa Clara University, it's a university in California. It's about 20 minutes away from where I lived. It was a great school. Okay, then I applied to Washington University, and it's in St. Louis. So it's actually different from the normal Washington University. UW and Washington University St. Louis are different, but I was rejected from Washington University in St. Louis. I applied to UPenn, also rejected from UPenn, which is University of Pennsylvania, back in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. I applied to Harvey Mudd. It's another school in California. Was rejected from that. Applied to University of Southern California, which is also known as USC, and I was admitted to USC. And so that was good to know because it was a SoCal school. I hadn't been there before, but it was nice to know that Santa Clara and USC were two privates that um, appreciated my application. But again, it's a really competitive process, and especially like private schools can be really difficult to get into. And so if you get rejected, like don't feel bad. It's a normal process and it happens to everyone. Um, Stanford was another private school I applied to. I rejected from Stanford. JHU, some of you may not know what that means because not everyone calls it JHU, Johns Hopkins University. I was rejected from that as well. And then Rice University is a school in Texas. So Johns Hopkins, by the way, is in Maryland. Uh, and then I'm just going to go down and talk about where all these are. So California, California. Harvey Mudd is also in California. I don't even know what the abbreviation for Pennsylvania is. So I'm just going to say Penn. Washoe is in Missouri. Okay. And Santa Clara is in California. Okay. Rice, I was rejected from Rice, and Rice is in Texas, and so that's unfortunate. And lastly, UOP, which is University of Pacific, I was admitted to, which is in California. University of Pacific is in Stockton, California. And so you'll see here I got rejected from most of the privates I applied to. And so of the 9 privates I applied to, I was admitted to 3 and rejected by 6, right? And so, that just happens. And it was a great way for me to see uh, what schools I would go to because you don't always go to the schools you get rejected to, obviously, but also you don't want to go to schools that, don't want you there. That's always been my philosophy. If you get rejected from a school, it's no big deal. You just go to schools that, you like, and that's fine. Public schools I applied to. So UC Berkeley, UCLA, these are all public schools in California. UCSD, UC Davis, UC Irvine, and Cal Poly. And luckily, I was admitted to all of the public schools. And I love the public school system. And they're slightly different, obviously. You can watch my video on public versus private schools. I'm going to try to create a link here. Let's see if it fits. And if you want to watch the video, watch it here. It's the difference between public and private schools. And I was so grateful to have eventually gotten into these public schools. It was a great time. I visited all of them. And as you can see, I applied to 6. Is it 6? Yes, 6 public. Okay, so I applied to 6 public and 9 privates. And I was lucky enough to be admitted to them. I think it was a great opportunity. And now let's go over the general statistics. So how many total schools did I apply to? The total schools I applied to 9 private schools, 6 public schools, and 15 total schools. And if you're wondering where I'm getting these numbers, I made a separate email account just for my colleges, and I went through all of them and talked and looked at every single school I applied to. And yes, the number was 15. I looked at every single rejection letter, I looked at every single acceptance letter. And that's that. So those were my statistics. But the main point I want to emphasize is things that I'm taking away 4 years down the line. Uh, and the things that I take away is the school you go to does not matter. Okay, I'm going to emphasize that a lot. I mean, I think it's obviously a big deal to go to a school that you like and, that you think appreciates you, but a lot of students are like, do I need to go to like an amazing school? And I think no, you don't. I know so many friends, I have so many colleagues, so many general people I meet from institutions that you might say, oh, this is not the best institution in the world, but it, like, the person really really cares, and they use that education to it. So it's not the institution that matters, it's your passion. And so many people I meet are just so amazing. They doesn't matter what school they go to because they have this passion, they have this drive, and all universities have resources to help students succeed. And if you're willing to make use of those resources and your passion is driving you, you will do so well because that passion takes you far. It doesn't matter what your institution is. You can go to the world's best institution in the world, and if you don't have the drive to do what you want to do, to change the world, to really make a difference, um, your institution is not going to help you. Another thing I'm going to bring up is the second thing is when you're deciding on colleges, look for where you're comfortable. Okay. What do I mean by that? So personally for me, something that determined comfortableness was really going to a school where I could ask for help. We're really going to a school where I knew my financial aid understood. So I had like some immigration problems. So my personal immigration problems was like I didn't have a green card until I was in my third year of college. So a lot of colleges wouldn't give me in-state tuition, and I think a lot of schools gave were not willing to understand my situation. So I only went to a school that really was willing to understand it, and so it didn't matter to me how good the school was or what its ranking was. I wanted to know where I was comfortable, where I could feel at home. And that's a big deal because college is overwhelming. College is tough. College is hard, and college is gonna stress you out. But if you're in a place that does not make you feel comfortable, that's gonna all go down the drain. All that stress is gonna get to you. All that insanity is gonna get to you. So make sure you go to a place that you're comfortable. And the third thing is all colleges are amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. I think college is definitely a great thing. And if you're applying to college, you're already taking a step in the right direction. Okay. All colleges are amazing in the sense that they have resources. They have a big campus, a huge campus. They have basically professors that are willing to put themselves out there for you to make sure you get the help you need. But they rely on in to nope, that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say was they rely on your drive. Okay, if you want to do well in college, you need to be driven to use the resources, the campus, and the professors to accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. And if you're driven, it does not matter where you're going. It matters that you're going to a place you're comfortable, and if you're comfortable, you'll be more inclined to take advantage of these three resources. And personally, I genuinely do think that um, your college education is going to take you far in life, but only if you take advantage of it. So again, remember the three main takeaways. Doesn't matter where you end up going as long as you're driven and passionate about what you do. Look for where you're comfortable, where you really feel at home. And the last thing is all colleges are really, really amazing institutions. They will make you grow, but you need to be driven to use them. All right. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed my reflection on my personal college process. It's so cool looking back on this 4 years later. And obviously, comment below, subscribe, like, and let me know if you have any more ideas for videos that you'd like to see. All right. See you guys in the next one.